If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up like. I would really appreciate it. Forewarning, this is going to be a long, kind of a rambling rant about a mod that's been a long time coming. The Busby Brute is a venerable, older, discontinued blaster in the Busby Air Warriors ultra-tek line, which was a cool line in my opinion. You had a lot of blasters that were compatible with Nerf magazines and had honestly quite decent performance in many cases. I myself have had two Brutes for quite some time. I have the one that's new in package that I got for $14.99 plus tax from, I'm pretty sure that store has since closed. And I have this one that I got at a thrift store some time ago, many years, well before pandemic. And I don't remember how much it was, but it's cool. Now when I got this, the first thing that was very obvious to me after I got it home and put in batteries and loaded up a mag is for some reason the pusher mechanism didn't quite work right. And it took me forever to ponder and figure out why that might be. I still don't quite know what was wrong, but the ultimate solution to that was basically replacing the pusher motor. The Brute, like its sibling blaster, the Cyclonic, one of my favorites, uses a standard 130 size motor, so you can swap it out for whatever you happen to have on hand that will work. And that's what I did, and the Brute worked again, so that was nice. But I wanted something more out of it. Over the last year, maybe a little less than that, I have slowly had a descent into using basically only short darts or half darts, and I'm pretty much now fully on short darts, and a favorite blaster of mine should be no exception to that. The Brute itself had honestly pretty decent stock performance, and in my opinion it gave the Nerf Rapid Strike a run for its money. The Brute doesn't take any attachments or anything, but it shoulders really well. It's comfortable. Sure, the handle's a little small, but you know what? I don't find the handle uncomfortable. It's actually pretty decent despite its diminutive size. And the compatibility with standard Nerf magazines doesn't hurt it one bit. When I bought it, this one was just in the stock colors, you know, blue here and gray there. For some reason, I do not really care for Busby's light blue plastic or their light gray plastic. I don't know, they just don't appeal to me. This is the second paint job I did on this one. I don't remember quite what the colors were the first time. I think I might have made this where there is orange now. I think I might have made that dark gray the first time, but I like it better in this, and there's black and there's orange. But the really important part is what's inside the blaster now. Unfortunately, I don't have a great deal of photos, but what I do have, I'll put up as kind of a, I don't know, slideshow. What we have is basically a number of factors all combined. There is a customized flywheel cage for Hurricane flywheels, which are my current favorite for half darts and especially for relatively high FPS like you'd find at most Humans vs. Zombies events. So with a 33.5mm crush, you get beautiful performance from a roughly 42,000 to 43,000 RPM motor, and that's usually on 3S with what I run, and then if you happen to run it on 2S, you'll get usually around maybe 90 FPS. So it's honestly, it's great for a variety of games. It's not the highest end thing, but I don't expect it to be. Long ago, Open Flywheel Project came out with a series of cages for the Brute, but they didn't quite fit perfectly. They were not 100% satisfactory and functional, and unfortunately, OFP never revisited that project, so that is all the publicly released flywheel cages. I poked at a few myself, but I never really found any that worked terribly well. So in my goal of basically using only short darts with pretty much everything, we have the Hurricane flywheel cage that I mentioned with the 33.5mm gap. You probably won't be able to see this on this camera, who knows, but basically I have an extended pusher on it that is a friction fit. This part itself is just from a Strife extended pusher on Thingiverse that I customized in Tinkercad, and then additionally once I printed it I had to kind of cut it up with a hobby knife to make it actually fit, but it actually fits really well. The standard Talon magazine that many people in the community use fits acceptably in here, but it kind of catches on the dart guide, the orange piece inside there, so I had to file that down a little bit. I do not really like a high rate of fire, and since I'm now using 3S motors, I would have had to run the pusher motor on 3S, which was honestly a little bit faster than I wanted it to be. So I've replaced the pusher motor with a out of darts Valkyrie motor for a manageable rate of fire. I'm also using one of the Dart Zone adapters, and all of them fit the same because they are the same adapter. But the bottom line is, that goes in there, That mounts very nicely. I can even use my magazine couplers here to top off one while I'm using another, or have another at the ready. One of the other nice things about the Brute is once you get rid of the battery tray, the area in the stock for the battery is enormous. So I have a sizable 3S battery in here. I've even used a huge NIMH battery before I cut over to LiPo. And one of the other mod features here is a keyring for using a sling, because I pretty much rely on having a sling. This is not really too noteworthy. Whenever I insert one of these key rings in here, I make sure to do it around one of the screw posts on the inside, and then I kind of cut grooves in it to make room for it, or else the shell would not close properly. But the bottom line, the net effect is you have a really nice blaster for HVZ or anything with a similar FPS cap. Woo! Well, I hope you've enjoyed this relatively quick look at my new favorite project. Unlike a lot of the things that I build anymore, this one is for me. A lot of the ones that I build go on the store, but I built this one exclusively for me, and it's not for sale. It is mine, and I love it. And you may see it at a Nerf or HVZ event near you soon. Who knows? Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time.